Hello, everyone. Welcome to HA After Dark. Big news. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to continue doing these live streams. Hit subscribe right now if you're into the uploads. Watch the first 30 minutes. We're going to get to everything. We'll get right to it. Here is President Trump. So let's go ahead. Here's President Trump. I don't know if anybody got the notifications, but if you didn't, please go ahead and share this segment everywhere because it is big news. Here is President Trump right now. Fox News interview. He's going to end. I've been saying that he's going to. I've been saying forever that he's eventually going to pardon Manafort. He's going to pardon Flynn. He could pardon Papadopoulos. He's definitely going to pardon Flynn. Flynn was set up. He's definitely going to pardon Manafort. And you're going to hear right now, Michael Cohen is pretty stupid because now Michael Cohen got he has no chance now, almost no chance of being pardoned. But let's take a look at this. This is very interesting.
Pardoning Paul Manafort? I have great respect for what he's done in terms of what he's gone through. You know, he worked for Ronald Reagan for years. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked, I guess his firm worked for McCain. He worked for many, many people, many, many years. And I would say what he did, some of the charges they threw against him, every consultant, every lobbyist in Washington probably does. If you look at Hillary Clinton's person, you take a look at the people that worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, look at the crimes that Clinton did with the emails, and she deletes 33,000 emails after she gets a subpoena from Congress. And this Justice Department does nothing about it, and all of the other crimes that they've done.
So let's listen to it again. I mean, of course, but it's pretty straightforward. He's going to pardon Manafort. He just stated that. You look at Hillary Clinton; she deleted 33,000 emails. And she had no way of knowing what would be retroactively classified or what was born classified. Just from the 30,000 plus emails she gave to the State Department, there were 2,000 retroactively classified emails, 22 top secret emails, and special access program and born classified intelligence. So, like, we have this double standard. She'll eventually get charged. That's not an issue. We know that Hillary Clinton will eventually get charged. The issue here is when Trump is going to pardon Manafort. Hillary Clinton, the only reason she's not in prison now, the only reason is because James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok covered up the investigation. They did not even ask how she transferred the top secret, the special access program intelligence from the United States government onto her server. The IG report did not say that the prosecutor, that the investigation wasn't biased. They said the prosecutorial decisions weren't influenced by bias from the prosecutors. The prosecutors were not given information. They were not given information as to how Brian Pagliano helped set up the server. His emails for 4 years were missing. He was subpoenaed and he didn't show up. Jason Chaffetz subpoenaed Brian Pagliano. He didn't show up. He ignored the subpoena. There was no special counsel that was twisting and flipping and singing, and everybody was given a free pass. They were handing out immunity deals like candy. Nobody was pressed. Even within the IG report, the FBI investigators stated that, somebody was lying. One of the people who helped set up Clinton's server, might have been Justin Cooper, it might have, was lying. But it's okay. Then you have the issue of Louis Gohmert stating that one of the IGs, the original Inspector Generals, Charles McAuliffe, stated that all of her emails were hacked and forwarded to a foreign entity, not Russia. She used an AT&T email account in her first 3 months, and then afterwards, for close to 3 months afterwards, went ahead and used a ClintonEmail.com. Used ClintonEmail.com. So, I mean, she obviously, the 30,000 deleted emails, she focused on the Clinton Foundation. Platte River and Dado Inc. have her emails. And also, she shoved, or Bill Clinton's aides shoved a laptop in the mail with a thumb drive. So, of all of her emails, Platte River and Dado have all of her emails as well, had all of her emails from 2013 to 2014. Then you have Anthony Weiner with 18 classified emails. Then you have Judicial Watch, who came up with more emails that are classified just the other day. So it's like, but Trump says he's now considering pardon. Let's hear this again. Oh, Lord.
Great respect for what he's done in terms.
Are you considering pardoning Paul Manafort?
I have great respect for what he's done in terms of what he's gone through. You know, he worked for Ronald Reagan for years. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked, I guess his firm worked for McCain. He worked for many, many people, many, many years. And I would say what he did, some of the charges they threw against him, every consultant, every lobbyist in Washington probably does. If you look at Hillary Clinton's person, you take a look at the people that worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, look at the crimes that Clinton did with the.
Look at the crimes that Clinton did. This is the President of the United States of America. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. We all know exactly what's going on. Jeff Sessions, Rudy Giuliani, all of them. They know that Clinton committed crimes. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Everyone, Eric H526, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And to the moderators, thank you. But we already know something. Look at Clinton's crimes. It's a double standard. It's an obvious double standard. So at the end of the day, they want to get Manafort. They're like, oh, yeah, we want blood. We want retribution. It has nothing to do with Trump Russia. And Michael Cohen is pretty stupid. Because here he is with Lanny Davis, who is a Clinton attorney. And unless this is some kind of grandiose scheme or charade, and which I doubt, I think that Michael Cohen realized that he might not be pardoned, or maybe there are state crimes, because Trump can pardon federal crimes. But I don't, did Michael Cohen plead guilty to state crimes? New York state crimes. Okay, hold on one second. Well, the taxi medallion, so hold on. So, New York, that's right. Okay, so New York state investigators subpoenaed Michael Cohen. Gotcha, because of the Southern District. Okay, so it was all referred from the New York State. New York State Tax Office subpoenas Michael Cohen. Okay, so over the Trump Foundation. That's hilarious. Meanwhile, the Clinton Foundation is like, this is just a couple hours ago. Unbelievable. It's not gonna. At the end of the day, Clinton will eventually be charged because you're talking about an actual criminal. She just happens to still have a good amount of political and media influence. It's not sustainable, though. You have James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok fired and being investigated, especially Comey because of his leaked classified memos. Comey memos were classified, 4 of 7. Bruce Orr will be testifying. So the boa constrictor that is Trump is slowly moving around the Clinton little machine. Subpoena comes after Cohen's attorney said Trump ex-personally had information that would be of interest to prosecutors. Of course, he's lying. He's going ahead, and the Trump Foundation has zero quid pro quo arrangements. He doesn't need to have quid pro quo arrangements. So I think that's bizarre. So Cohen was based. These are federal laws that Cohen broke. State and federal laws are different and might matter. Okay, so what did he? I just want to say really quick. So Michael Cohen pleads guilty. The president's lawyer pleading the president of the United States conspired to violate federal law. Oh my God. What a stretch. Because he paid Cohen to pay someone else, and now it's campaign finance because it influenced the election. I think not. Not one vote was altered. Okay, so these are federal violations Cohen pleaded to, which makes no sense as to why he would suddenly try to flip on Trump when Trump's his only hope to get pardoned. But Manafort's going to get pardoned. Annette, thank you so very much, Annette. Annette is a beautiful name. Thank you so very much, Annette. Thank you, Annette. Shala Collins. Now Schumer's calling for stalling the Supreme Court nominee, calling Cohen guilt and play a game changer. Such pathetic opportunists and losers. Exactly. And it's not working. Shala Collins is almost at 4,000 subs. Let's get her there tonight. Over 4,000, 3,900. Here's her channel. Shala Collins, thank you so very much. No, I agree with you. And they're not going to be successful. So they're not going to be successful. So Annette, thank you. Elizabeth Luker, spending a little love to my reformed, woken up, matrix broken little brother of mine. Love you, HA, and all the good fam. Thank you, Elizabeth Luker. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Elizabeth Luker. You're wonderful. Annette, Elizabeth Luker, and Shala Collins. Everyone subscribe to Shala Collins. She's beautiful inside and outside. Thank you so much, Shala. And so Trump says he's considering pardon for Manafort. Fox News report. U.S. President Donald Trump said he would consider pardoning his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, who was convicted Tuesday on bank and tax fraud. And, you got to love Trump's personalities. Like, everyone and all the lobbyists in Washington would be convicted for this. And at the end of the day, they'll lose again. And at the end of the day, they will lose again because it's part of the Constitution. He can pardon who he wants. Presidential pardon, U.S. Constitution. Article 2, Section 2, shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Okay. Shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons. There you go. Too bad, Democrats. Lost again. Lost again. Must really stink to be you. So now they're going after the Trump Foundation, which is hilarious. They're trying everything. They don't know what to do with themselves. They know they're going to lose again. And when they lose again after November, ladies and gentlemen, it's game on. It is then, game time. Michael Cohen does not deserve a pardon at this point. Now, General Michael Flynn deserved a pardon day one. He deserves to be cleared. Manafort deserves a pardon as well. He's been the fall guy for everything, and he has nothing to do with Trump-Russia collusion. He only spent, a couple of months on the campaign. And you have a situation where Trump focuses on Clinton emails more than I do. And this is an issue. He focuses on Clinton emails more than I do. And there's not going to be a blue wave. The only blue wave you'll see is in the toilet bowl. You're going to have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where Republicans are going to keep control of the House. Jim Jordan, hopefully. I mean, who knows who's going to be Speaker, but Jim Jordan hopefully will be Speaker. Or Devin Nunes. Or any of the... I would love Louis Gohmert. Why not? And so, let's see. Let's listen to this again. I love it. I love it.
Emails and she deletes 33,000.
Are you considering pardoning Paul Manafort?
I have great respect for what he's done in terms of what he's gone through. You know, he worked for Ronald Reagan for years. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked, I guess his firm worked for McCain. He worked for many, many people, many, many years. And I would say what he did, some of the charges they threw against him, every consultant, every lobbyist in Washington probably does. If you look at Hillary Clinton's person,
could you imagine Obama or Bush or anyone, Bill Clinton or you know, anyone speaking like this? I would imagine that everyone, every lobbyist in DC probably acted the same way as Manafort, which is true. Which is true. He cuts through the baloney. They want to make him the epitome of corruption in their mind because, well, they lost to him. And Mr. T, I care, and that's amazing. Awesome. God bless you. That's awesome. That is awesome, and I do care. And I'm happy when any of my viewers are happy and living great lives. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and hear that again.
Considering pardoning Paul Manafort?
I have great respect for what he's done in terms of what he's gone through. You know, he worked for Ronald Reagan for years. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked, I guess his firm worked for McCain. He worked for many, many people, many, many years. And I would say what he did, some of the charges they threw against him, every consultant, every lobbyist in Washington probably does. If you look at Hillary Clinton's person, you take a look at the people that worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, look at the crimes that Clinton did with the emails, and she deletes 33,000 emails after she gets a subpoena from Congress. And this Justice Department does nothing about it. And all of the other crimes that they've done.
And this Justice Department does nothing about it. I mean, Sessions is almost certainly trying to get Clinton on something else because there's a Clinton Foundation probe. The Clinton Foundation is very likely what she'll get charged with. The Clinton Foundation, the pay-to-play schemes, very likely, and it'll all be linked to the Clinton email. The Clinton email probe and the Clinton Foundation probe are the same probe, the same investigation. The Clinton email issue is a subset. Thank you, Mr. T. The Clinton email probe is a subset of the Clinton Foundation probe. Gary, thank you. The Clinton email probe is a subset of the Clinton Foundation probe, and when it all goes down, Tony Tam, Tony, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. When it all goes down, what's going to take place is people are going to be like, no, my God, he's crazy. Trump is going after, he's a dictator. He's going after people. He's going after them. Oh my God, he's going after them. He's a dictator. He's a tyrant. He's an autocrat. And they're not going to realize that this probe is so the Clinton Foundation is very interesting. So Clinton Foundation is two giant 757 planes that that touched down. Let's just look at that for a moment. DOJ planes, Little Rock. Let's just go ahead. The FBI says planes in Little Rock connected to major drug bust. Just how does it even work? Epoch Times, a Justice Department-owned airliner made 2 trips to Little Rock, Arkansas. 2 trips this month that stirred up discussion and speculation at a local radio show and online about purported connection to the Clinton Foundation. There's an ongoing FBI Clinton Foundation probe. An ongoing FBI Clinton Foundation probe. Ongoing. In response to the inquiries, the FBI, however, said the plane wasn't there in connection with what was termed as a major drug trafficking arrest. That makes no sense at all. They were loading files, boxes and boxes of documents. The plane, Boeing 757-223, landed around at the Clinton National Airport August 7th after likely taking and another one. Little Rock's news radio 102.9 KARN reported that day that federal agents had been spotted loading boxes onto a 757 Boeing. Can you please, is there a drug empire? Janice Webb. Janice Webb. Thank you so very much, Janice Webb. Thank you. As always, Janice, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Janice. When has there ever been a drug empire or a drug bust where the criminals take copious notes or use file cabinets? That makes no sense at all. This is the same people who said that they speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Makes absolute zero sense. No sense at all. Makes no sense. Little Rock News Radio 102.9 KRN reported that day that federal agents had been spotted loading boxes into a bed. Doc Washburn, the radio show's host, speculated the boxes contained documents from the Clinton Foundation, which has offices at the Clinton Presidential Center in Little Rock. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Shuttling tactical teams. An FBI spokesman told the Epoch Times on August 10th that the plane was in Little Rock because of a major drug bust. Tactical teams were present in Little Rock this week to assist in the arrest of multiple defendants in an operation that dismantled a significant drug trafficking organization. Out of 11 defendants charged in the federal indictment, 7 were arrested for selling cocaine, crack cocaine, marijuana. How on earth do they say that this is going to be linked to a drug trafficking organization when these criminal organizations do not use file cabinets? Makes no sense. Usually when there's a drug bust, you see weapons, and you see pounds of, these mounds of cocaine or whatever. And I looked up, I was trying to find, oh, okay, let's see. Maybe there are 757 and tactical teams and for other drug busts. No, it's not. This is not prevalent. So it's complete nonsense. So the operation was part of an investigation by the Get Rock Task Force of local, state, and federal. The task force was set up at the request of the state's Republican governor, Asa Hutchinson, in response to the escalation in gang and what? The operation today dismantled a group of criminals who destroy and tear the fabric of our. This still doesn't explain anything to do with 2 giant planes. That makes no sense at all. There are drug busts. There are major drug busts everywhere in the country. The DOJ does not send planes. They're not UPS. DOJ doesn't become FedEx for every drug bust. So anyway, I'm going to chalk that down as golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, and convenience and yoga. There's something very fishy. The Democrats are a sinking ship. It's fantastic. But let's go ahead. So, all right. Let's just listen to this again. Actually, all right. Hold on one second. So let's read this. So Trump says he's considering pardoning Manafort, Fox News reporter. U.S. President Donald Trump said he would consider pardoning his former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who was convicted on Tuesday of bank and tax fraud, according to Fox News reporter who interviewed Trump. Fox News reporter Ansley Earhart said Trump told her in an interview on Wednesday that he would consider pardoning Manafort. That means he will. I think he feels bad for Manafort. They were friends. Now Cohen is trying to flip on Trump with the foundation, with Stormy. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because even if they were friends, Trump is smart enough not to. First of all, he doesn't really have to. The source of Trump's power is real estate and media, both of which the capital, it's all from here. Like, he is basically, his knowledge base of business, his knowledge base pertaining to business and media is where his power is derived from. Clinton doesn't have really a knowledge base of anything. She doesn't even know what the C meant. She thinks the C meant catnip. Peter Strzok interviewed her and she's like, I don't know what the C meant. I think it means catnip. She literally didn't know the C meant confidential. There's confidential, secret, and top secret. All of these classifications were in her email outside the United States government that the NSA and President Obama didn't know. Yeah, right. And she hasn't had a foreign policy decision that ever worked. It's never worked out. She voted for Iraq. She pushed for the bombing of Libya. She wanted to oust Assad. There's nothing she's ever done that worked out. C's for Kangle. Eric H526. So with Trump, I mean, her power is derived from quid pro quo and fundraising. Let's look at, I mean, you could just, this is Christopher Hitchens brought this up, the great Christopher Hitchens, who was an inspiration to me. He was one of the great, great, great thinkers of this era. So there's so many good ones here, but
Kissinger had to decline the honor, except her pretends to have been under fire in Bosnia when it's on Google this, just parts of the Middle East of people. If you were...
Okay, can I tell you how much I love Christopher Hitchens? Okay. Christopher Hitchens is one of the great, great, great political minds, philosophical minds, just a genius. And he was actually brilliant because he made people think. He wasn't right on everything, but nobody's right on everything. He pushed for Iraq. He was wrong about that. But you know what? He was right on most other things. And he was not a war hawk. He was the opposite. He didn't push for Iraq from the perspective, from a neoconservative perspective of looking at a map like like a Dungeons and Dragons or like a Stratego or Risk board game. He was somebody who you know, discussed everything from theology to being an atheist to Clinton to he would have destroyed the social justice warriors of today, destroyed them. He was a free speech absolutist. No Sickle J, thank you so very much. HA, you're a winter warrior. Keep it up, brother. Thank you, No Sickle J. Thank you, No Sickle J, very, very, very much. And thank you for being, you know, such a great person on this channel, watching for so long and being so supportive. Thank you, No Sickle J. Thank you. And he was just really wonderful. Now, and he was also amusing, and he had charming. Everything Hillary's not. Everything Hillary Clinton is not. But check it out.
Change that you can believe in, whichever change it was, you were voting against. This is a woman whose foreign policy experience consists of making a fool of herself and fabricating a story about Bosnia. This is the woman who, with her husband, have so many connections, fundraising connections overseas, Indonesia, China. Just look at today's and yesterday's New York Times.
Now check out what this is in 2008. This is in 2008. Okay? He's talking about Clinton's fundraising connections. The Clinton Foundation scandals have the fundraising scandals and violations were taking place in Bill Clinton's White House. But check out what Christopher Hitchens says. You cannot get shadier. You cannot get more overt in terms of criminal behavior. Quid pro quo, pay for play, RICO laws that Giuliani was talking about. When it all goes down, you and I, you watching, and I will be, you and I will both be right. Like we were right when I said Clinton was going to lose to Trump in 2015. I said she was unelectable. You were watching, we were right. I stated that Tony Podesta would be under criminal investigation because of the Mueller probe, federal criminal investigation. I wrote a Daily Caller article. I was right. We were right. I stated on May 30th, an RT, that Republicans will keep control of the House and Senate. Will be right. I've been stating forever the whole Trump-Russia nonsense was complete nothing. We were right on that. So H predicted. What do you want from me? What can I say? But no, check this out.
The list of people with whom the former President Clinton has acquired a tremendous burden of debt. These are people who pay him all the time. From
a burden of debt to her donors. Christopher Hitchens saw this in 2008. I mean, he saw this in the 90s.
Odd parts of the Middle East to strange donors all over the place. My colleague at Vanity Fair, Todd Purdom, anyone can Google this. Just put in Purdom Clinton. See if you can bear to read the sort of friendships that a former president is having. It's undignified to think about it. From the Rioni family in Indonesia to numerous Chinese donors who left this country rather than show up for the hearings on it. But I don't know of any such expertise on her part, except her pretense to have been under fire in Bosnia when she had not. Actually, when there was pressure on the Clinton administration, with Les Aspin was Secretary of Defense, you remember, to do something about Sarajevo, to stop the killing, to prevent the ethnic cleansing, Hillary Clinton moved in hard on her husband and said, don't you do a thing about Bosnia, it'll spoil my wonderful healthcare plan. At least on healthcare, she knows enough about the subject to have really changed American healthcare for the worse. About foreign policy, she doesn't even know that much. But I agree.
She never knew that much about foreign policy. Christopher Hitchens was right about everything. And let me say, with all due respect, I'm not great comment. I'm assuming rational action and logic. No. I'm not. Clinton indictments in the way I estimate, and that's a great point. That's a great point. I'm not saying that she'll get indicted because it's the rational or logical or just thing to do. No. I'm saying simply she will lose enough power to where her overt criminal activity will be no longer covered by Comey and Strzok and McCabe and all the people who are now fired or under investigation or who will receive the political and legal consequences that they deserve for trying to cover up Clinton. And I agree with you, this is not about logic. Logic might dictate, or rational thought might dictate, that she would then continue to get away with what she's already gotten away with. No. You're talking about one of the biggest criminals in U.S. history. And the reason she was able to engage both Clintons, but mainly also Hillary, with an email server outside the United States government, it's like from the founding fathers up until President Obama, or maybe President Bush, but from the founding fathers up until President Bush, maybe Clinton. I mean, almost every American president would never allow that type of behavior to take place, and never before in American history would that have been overlooked. You can't have an autonomous server outside of the NSA. We spend $35 billion on the NSA, CIA, and FBI, and she has a server outside all of that apparently none of them know, even the president. So, Elizabeth Luker, as always, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for your support. Clinton Foundation has laundered billions. Yes, the $10 billion alone in Haiti. I want to see justice on that. That will happen. It almost certainly will be the Clinton Foundation now. I'm beginning to think that Sessions is like, we can't go ahead and do the Espionage Act because Comey put that to bed. But more, I want them to be publicly exposed and taken down for their human. Okay. Well, had to abide by YouTube policies on that, but that will all be exposed. Well, it already is. Let's put it this way. Elizabeth, I don't think the 2 giant planes to Little Rock had to do with the drug bust. And there's an ongoing Clinton Foundation probe that's been going on since 2017, likely earlier. Again, ladies and gentlemen, since 2017 and likely earlier than that. So, and we have RICO statutes regarding a lot of these crimes. So, Elizabeth Luker, I agree 100% with you. 100% with you. And according to T, no, I am not. I've never been in the military, but I have friends who are veterans, and I respect everyone who's ever served in this country, and I want every American soldier to be home with their family for Christmas and New Year's and away from all these war zones, because I don't believe that we need to do that. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's listen to Christopher Hitchens again, the soulful sounds of Christopher Hitchens.
Very suspicious when John Kyle, a major supporter of the war in Iraq, a complete hawk, a neocon in many ways, complete hawk, supports her for this. Henry Kissinger's come out of the woodwork. He supports her for this. Why did
this change? As I say, if it hadn't involved her too, the campaign finance scandals, we're not talking about the ongoing stuff, Mr. Clinton's huge speaking fees in the Gulf and elsewhere.
He was talking about speaking fees in 2008. She lives for Jesus. Hey, AJ, keep on keeping on. Thank you, She Lives for Jesus. Thank you for always watching. Thank you very, very, very much. Elizabeth Luker, She Lives for Jesus. Thank you both. Thank you so much. Keep on keeping on. Thank you. She Lives for Jesus. Thank you. And this is interesting, really interesting. And let's make it very clear also. Christopher Hitchens was an anti-theist. He was an atheist and also an anti-theist, but he had friends who were Christian, and he never hated. He had friends who were Muslim. He had friends who were Jewish. I think he was half Jewish, or his mother was Jewish. But like by birth, I think that he was raised Christian, I believe. But I could be wrong. I should know this. But he was not the type of like social justice, like militant Twitter, left leftist groupthink ideologue. He wasn't like that at all. He wasn't like that at all. He was a free-thinking. He hated groupthink. He loved George Orwell. He was just wonderful in so many ways, and the world needs him now. America needs him now. It's just so sad that his voice is no longer here. But I mean, we can still hear what he has stated already.
Talking about previous convictions in the Clinton fundraising scandal, if it wasn't for the fact that she couldn't refuse her brothers anything, couldn't refuse them anything they wanted, they seem to have got, including some kind of deal from our rich. All of this might be forgivable. It might assume a different proportion, David, if it wasn't for the fact that this woman doesn't really have any foreign policy experience worth mentioning. And what is memorable about it is pretty bad. Remember, Kissinger had to decline the honor that Bush wanted to give him of being chair of the 9/11 Commission because it would have involved.
So it's just great. I mean, it's like he's just amazing. This is also a hilarious one too, right here.
After all she's done for us and all she's suffered on our behalf, she feels she's owed. Who could possibly disagree? Her life is meaningless if she doesn't get released a shot, and one can only sympathize. Unless you think, as I do, that people should be distrusted who are running for therapeutic reasons.
People should be distrusted who are running for therapeutic reasons. And people should also be distrusted when they worship the Mueller probe for therapeutic reasons, or who believe in the Russia collusion myth for therapeutic reasons, or who suspend logic and don't need evidence, but use a Steele dossier or Brennan's high confidence, or any other MSNBC calling everybody Nazi that they disagree with. All of this on the left is all about therapeutic groupthink. Well, let's listen to
Because the presidency doesn't calm those demons, as her husband has already proved. But look, the reason why we have to think about it, and the reason why your question is a good one, is this. What else can the Democrats do? And if that's the case, what the hell shape are we in?
So there you go. And then you want to talk about Christopher Hitchens. His critique of the Clintons goes way back, long before Hillary was. I mean, this is Hitchens talking about Bill Clinton.
He's spending most of the relevant time using public money in his own defense and for his own private and selfish interests. We have had several very devastating reports of meetings he should have attended about either Iraq or Serbia, which he didn't show up at because he was close. Things I wanted to explain to them, and a couple of things I wanted to say, which were well, that I didn't think he was in any jeopardy or would be, and that I wanted them to understand.
Rejected the
order. You're not going to get me on Law and Order. You're not going to think I'm soft. You're not going to You're not going to.
Almost the embodiment.
So we can go on forever. Just the. Thank you, Stephanie. You know, the interesting thing about the Democratic Party is that they don't have a value system. And almost everything they engage in terms of propaganda turns out to hurt them. Every avenue they take. First it was Manafort. Now it's Michael Cohen again. He pled guilty because he was engaged. His taxi empire was destroyed by Uber and Lyft. The guy wasn't smart enough to simply get an app to compete in New York with Uber and Lyft and have people just call the drivers directly and speak to them directly. Okay? And that's it. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like hilarious, pathetic to see these miserable imbeciles churn and go back and forth and back and forth. They're no longer talking about Russian hacking. They're not even really talking about impeachment. They're not talking about Stormy anymore. They're not talking really about McDougal. They're talking about campaign finance violations that even Alan Dershowitz stated was not impeachable, nor could it be used to indict a sitting president. And you have a situation where Democrats don't realize they just don't like his personality. That's really the only thing. They're going to lose political power. And I keep saying this and I keep telling people and no one listens, but I know they're progressive. I mean, nobody listened to me when I was a progressive anyway, but for the progressives who still watch this channel, I'm telling you that the Democrats will turn on all of you and they will abandon and jettison single payer. The second that a serious debate, a serious discussion regarding the increase in taxes, the Marketa study says that over doubling is insufficient. So all the, virtual signaling and all the, every industrialized nation, yeah, but we're everywhere. We have hundreds of thousands of, 450,000, 400 plus thousand around the world. How many soldiers do we have around the world stationed? How many U.S. troops stationed around the world? Let's look at this. We have soldiers in 150 countries. The U.S. has 1.3 million troops stationed around the world. Here are the major hotspots. Okay, so... Stationed around... Okay. U.S. military has over 1.3 million men and women, with more than 450,000 of them stationed overseas. No other industrialized nation has 450,000 soldiers stationed overseas. That's one difference. No other industrialized... So when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and others said, well, every industrialized nation... Yeah. Well, but then name another industrialized nation that has 450,000 soldiers overseas. Can you name one? No, only us. We're number one at that. And I believe every one of these soldiers should come home and be with their families. And if I was ever in Congress, if I ever ran for office, I'd go ahead and that would be my platform, bringing American soldiers home. That's it. Bring them home. And I'd get money from the NRA, believe me, because I would be a Second Amendment advocate. So the more the merrier from the NRA. If they ever wanted to, fund my campaign, that'd be fine. I'd be very, very happy. But I would also say bring American soldiers home. We have 6,000 in Iraq. We have 11,000 in Afghanistan. So that's one difference. 450,000 soldiers. And we also have 800 military bases in more than 70 countries. That's another difference between us and Denmark and France and others. So there's two major differences. We have, just 450,000 soldiers abroad. And it would be one thing if people advocating single payer would say, hey, bring home all 450,000 soldiers. I would be like, yes, that's awesome. Because then you can go ahead and perhaps, hopefully, pay for it without doubling or tripling taxes or doubling taxes, which is what the Mercatus studies talks about. And that's in 2017. So maintaining bases and troops overseas cost $85 to $100 billion in 2014. Military bases in 80 countries. In The Nation, okay, this is a great writer, but The Nation, this is an article they ran. The U.S. has a military bases in 80 countries. All of them must close. I agree 100%. By the way, who did The Nation endorse? Hillary Clinton, funded by neoconservatives, pushed by neo. So, I mean, it's like the left is totally all over the place. We have 800 military bases in 80 countries. A number that could exceed 1,000 if you count troops stationed at embassies. So those are two reasons why we're not like other industrialized nations. That's just two reasons. Then you want to talk about not just defense spending, because the real defense spending is putting soldiers, stationing soldiers thousands and thousands of miles away from home. But just the military budget, that's all they talk about. Oh, we'll slash the budget. Yeah. But if you don't bring home American soldiers, that's not really going to make that big of a difference. We have 800 military bases with 450,000 soldiers around the world. That is how do you protect? That is an excellent point, but the Navy protects trade. The aircraft carriers we have. I mean, if you control the seas, but I mean, it's like they're not going to win. So Michael Cohen now. Oh, here we go. Now they're going to go. Cohen flipped. Oh, of course. Now we go into the whole bunch of things. Michael Cohen paid mysterious tech company $50,000 in connection with Trump's campaign. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Prove it all. Oh, my God. A mysterious tech company. This must be the final link that the NSA and the FBI and the CIA and the Mueller probe didn't have until right now. The guy is flipping. He's either playing like this horrible charade, or he's flipping to, I don't know, to get out of everything that his taxi empire collapsed. So he's getting out of all the convictions. Unreported payment to $50,000 to tech company in connection with Trump's presidential campaign. The document detailing the payment does not say which company Cohen paid. The payment suggests that Cohen may have been doing more for Trump than previously known. How many votes were altered? My God. Clinton was in Arizona a week before the election. It's like unbelievable. She funneled millions to pay for the Steele dossier, which is an actual campaign finance violation. I find what's going on with Jeff Sessions egregious right now. I know he's probably waiting. And Sessions is like, give me some more time. I'm just waiting. He needs political clout. I get it. Political capital. But it's like, oh my God. Mysterious company. You can't give me the name? I love that. It's like Cohen's like making up everything, and every single time, where's the name of the company? Private Tech Services. Oh my God. Cohen is not believed to have played any part in the official digital operation of the Trump campaign, nor did Cohen ever have a formal staff position on the campaign itself. So, all right. They're so suspicious with Trump. They find nothing. Michael Cohen Truth Fund raised over $125,000 in less than a day after he pled guilty to fraud. So that's what Democrats do. They did it for Strzok and McCabe. They get the GoFundMe's going. You get donors, Clinton donors to give money to the people. Fine. Oh, I love this. The Economist, the Republican Party's shameful day. Oh my God, it's so shameful. Two close allies of Donald Trump will probably go to prison. How is that? The only reason is because Mueller couldn't find anything. So he went after people just to look good, just to hurt them, just to say, oh my God, look at Trump, his connections. Then now they're using Cohen. So which one is it? Cohen is this liar and cheat and scoundrel, or is he somebody we should trust? And what about Correct the Record, who actually spent $1 million? $1 million to go ahead and influence the election. So and now they're going, oh my God, Trump Foundation. No way. New York State has subpoenaed Michael Cohen, the Trump Foundation. Meanwhile, the Clinton Foundation's like, they're going after Trump any way possible. They're going to lose again. They're going to lose. If they lose in the midterms, which they will, you will see not only will they, and I'm calling this, not only will they go ahead and destroy whatever movement is left with Bernie, but all the people who are saying they're Bernie people now, I won't give names, but all the people are like, oh yeah, let's funnel you all. You're going to have a different corporate message, a more, let's say, establishment message after midterms. Because the midterms, they're not going to win the House. Like zero enthusiasm. There's a hashtag walk away, damn exit. Minorities are leaving the Democratic Party. It's like the left is like complete. Twitter is like a complete mess. Everything is like controversial, except the controversial things that people on the left do. So go ahead real quick. It's hilarious. And it's like, Trump is the best. This is the best tweet of all time. He goes, if anyone is looking for a good lawyer, I would strongly suggest you don't retain the services of Michael Cohen. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so great. That is so great. And then, of course, we have they try calling him treasonous. The Democrats on Twitter. It's like, based on what? Do you have any evidence of anything? Of anything? Ladies and gentlemen, oh, see, 52 minutes ago, rigged, no collusion, rigged Russia witch hunt. Nice. It's a rigged Russia witch hunt. That's what he says. That is really interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very, very, very much. Trump will eventually pardon Manafort. And thank you to all the moderators. Thank you, Eric H526 and Elizabeth Luker, Luke St. Martin, Horace, AC Ure. Thank you, everyone. God bless. See you tomorrow. They're going to continue to lose no matter what. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe right now. Share this segment because everyone is going to be talking about the Manafort pardon. Thank you.